Okay, hey guys. So today I'm doing a technique that it can be used individually. They say it can be used in groups too, but I would think it's more of an individual. It's called the menu. Chandler's going to be my client. So, okay, we'll just start. Hey Chandler, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So, have you ever seen these before? What kind of things are these?
A menu.
Menu. Okay, so like where do you usually see these?
At a restaurant.
At a restaurant. Okay. So tell me a little bit about some of your favorite restaurants.
My favorite restaurants are anywhere you can get sushi.
Okay.
Also, I love Mexican food. It's my favorite.
Okay.
And I'm from Colombia, and we have like a chain of Mexican restaurants there called San Jose, and it's the best restaurant ever. It's my favorite.
Okay. So when you go to these places, do you mix up what you get? What kind of things do you order?
No, I get the same thing every time.
Okay.
And that is chicken chimichanga
Mm-hmm.
with lots of guacamole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you pretty much stick to what you know is good.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about when you do you go with your parents when you go out to eat?
Sometimes.
Okay. Did they order different things? Same thing?
Sometimes they order different things. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So basically, when you go, there's a lot of choices on the menu. Like you can see on this one, there's a lot of different options. And depending on who's going and what they feel like during that day, they're going to pick, something different probably from you. You might get the same thing, but probably if you go with more than one person, someone's going to end up getting different things. So there's lots of different options. So we've been talking a little in here about some of the issues that you've been having in class, about getting angry and some of your reactions, and the teachers, being concerned about some of that and some of the stuff at home. So what we're going to do today, we're going to do an activity and we're going to make a menu of our own. So we're going to fold it like this so that we can make it open up like a real menu. And this is going to be our anger menu.
Okay.
Okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to think about different ways that you can respond when you're angry. And we're going to make a menu of choices for you.
Okay.
Okay? So at the top, you can pick a marker and you can write out anger menu or whatever you want to call it. Red is for anger, okay. That's good. Okay. So when you get angry now, what kinds of things, like let's say in class, for instance, what kinds of things do you do when you get angry?
Yell or throw things at the teacher.
Okay. And how do those usually work out for you?
I usually get in trouble and I get sent to the principal's office.
Okay. And that's probably not pretty fun, huh?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So we want to hopefully find some ways that you can still be angry, because it's okay to feel angry, but we want to find some ways for you to express that without getting in trouble. So what do you think you could do if your teacher says something that makes you angry? Well, what kind of things make you angry in class, do you think?
When I raise my hand and the teacher does not call on me.
Okay, so the teacher doesn't call on you, and you're raising your hand.
Yeah.
What is a different way you could respond than yelling?
I can count to 10 and
Okay.
see if I feel better.
Okay, so on the menu, you can either count to 10, or you can draw a picture,
Okay.
or something that will help you remember to count to 10. Okay, very good. So how about some stuff that might make you mad at home?
my mom yells at me a lot.
Okay. So when she yells at you, what do you usually do?
I yell back at her.
You yell back at her. Okay.
Yeah.
What is something else you could do when she's yelling at you?
I can go in my room and close the door.
Okay, so have a little bit of space maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That way that you can kind of cool off by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's put that on the menu.
Okay.
Okay. How about when you're playing with your friends? What kind of things do you guys maybe get in a little fight about, or what makes you angry?
Sometimes if we have toys and they don't want to share.
Okay. Okay, so how you usually respond?
We'll like fight and argue, or if I want a toy, I'll just take it.
Okay. Okay, so and then usually what happens when you take it?
They get more upset.
They get more upset.
Mhm.
Okay. So the next time that happens, what is something you could do so that everybody leaves kind of happy about the situation?
I don't know how to make them share.
You don't know how to make them share.
Mm-mm.
Well, let's think. Have you ever asked them if they would please share, or
Yeah, I asked them.
you ask them and they say no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So instead of just taking it, what is something that you can do so that you don't get too upset?
I can just find a different toy to play with, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could even go and talk to, if you're at school, you can talk to a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
or you can talk to a grown up and say, you know, they've been playing with that toy for a while, and I'd really like a turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then they may be able to step in and help you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that way, you know, if you find a different toy and you don't get so angry, then you won't get in trouble for getting in a kind of fight. Okay. So let's pick one more thing you can do when you get angry.
Can I just tell someone that I'm feeling angry?
Yeah, I think that's good if you can express your feelings without yelling and just say, you know, I'm feeling upset right now. That's okay to do too. Anger is going to happen. So explaining to someone why you feel angry is a great one to put on the menu.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, some of them are little dry. Okay, very good. So now we've got an anger menu.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're going to do is we'll have your parents come in and we can show them your anger menu. And what I'd like to have you guys do is put it somewhere, maybe like the refrigerator or somewhere that you can see it.
Okay.
And when you get mad, you can look at your menu or remember what we talked about and pick an option from the menu, just like you would at a restaurant. And hopefully by picking these different options to anger, the outcomes are going to be better for you.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically that's what it's like. They say that you can use it for coping skills too, like make a menu of coping skills. And basically it's just a way to help the child put things down and see alternative options for when they're feeling upset. And having the parents be involved by looking at it or putting it somewhere in a prominent space in the home can help them to be reminded of it and have options. So that is the menu.